Hey residents of MeepleTown, today we are looking at our 50 games. Now this is our top 50 games at this very moment, not necessarily our top 50 games of all time. That meaning there might be some games that were rated, 10, 5, 6 years ago or something like that. They might not show up on this list, but they might if we did an all-time top 50. Is that fair, John, you think?
Yeah, I think there's some, yeah.
All right.
That was really definitive there. Yes.
All right, so this is actually going to be in conjunction with our top 50 that we're going to be doing on our podcast. We're breaking those up into 20s on that. This is going to be a series of 10 videos every week for the next 5 weeks. So let's go ahead and kick it off with these 50 through 41.
Let's do it. And right before we start, I want to say this is for fun. We had a blast doing this. If you want to participate, put your 50 through 41 in the comments or on Board Game Geek Guild 34/7.
Yep, that's exactly right. All right, let's kick this off.
Let's do it. I've got my finger pointed. I'm ready to go. Right. I don't even know what that means.
All right, so number 50 for me is one that is an abstract game. I don't have a lot of abstract games on my list, but this is one of, if not my favorite abstract game, and that is Azul. This is a game where you are just taking these tiles, drafting them off of a coaster, and then placing them onto your board, and you're matching up colors so that you can slide them over to another row and score points. Really simple game, easy to teach, one that I quite enjoy. I've got a lot of plays out of this and have taught it to a lot of people that really enjoyed it as well.
Yep, I think Azul is a good game, and I think a lot of people would agree with you putting on your top 50. I don't agree with that, but I think a lot of people would. I think Azul's a really great game. It's a good game. I mean, it's a good game. It's not a really great game. All right, so number 50 for me is a game that is the only roll and write game that I actually have on this list. It's one that has come back to over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, trying to get that elusive 300 score. And it has eluded me to this day. It's a great solo game. It's not just solo, but it's a great solo game. That is Gone, Shon.
Clever.
Thank you.
Or not so clever if you can't quite reach 300 yet.
That's probably true.
I say that, but I've not reached it either. So.
Yeah, I just think it's fun. I love the bonuses that you're unlocking as you're rolling the dice, and it's a fun game, especially for rolling right. I like it a lot.
Yep. All right, so my number 49 is Village, and Village is one of mine and my wife's favorite games. And in this game, you are going to be taking cubes off of the board to be able to take the action for that particular space. And then you're going to be placing workers. But the cool mechanic of this is that time is such a resource in this game. And so you are potentially or eventually killing off some of your family members because the time passes, and when you get new family members into the fold, they are second, third, fourth generation.
I don't know why you like
members.
Such morbid games.
It's actually not very morbid at all, but it is a lot of fun. Quite enjoy this one. I recommend checking it out, especially if you like worker placement games.
That's right. Even though I make that comment, I will talk about this more later on down the road because it's a little higher for me. All right, so my number 49, almost forgot that it was my turn next, is a game that is pretty nasty, actually, pretty cutthroat. You're building this engine with cards, and it is Innovation. I like Innovation. I still haven't gotten Dean to play this with me, but I think it's a fun game. And again, it's really cutthroat. You're building this engine with these different cards, and you're taking cards from other people and you're putting them in your stack, and you're trying to get these achievements, but it's real to me. It's really fun. It's not too long of a game, so I like it. Innovation.
Yeah, I actually haven't played any of Carl Chudik's games at all that I can think of, so I'm interested in that and checking out some of his other games.
There you go.
All right, for me, my number 48 is, I think, my only party game on the list. I might have to eat my words if I get that wrong, but that is a new one called Just One. And this one is up for the Spiel des Jahres nomination. Wow. Potentially, it would be my vote for the winner, I believe. And I really enjoy this game. I've taught it to several groups of people. They all tend to really enjoy it. It's just simple. You can teach in a minute. All you do is you pick a word that you're going to try to guess, and everybody writes down a word, and if there are any overlap in the words that are written down, those erase, and then you use the clues that are left over. Really simple concept, and I'm honestly surprised that it's 2019 before this game was actually came about, but it's a lot of fun. That's just one.
I'm surprised that Codenames is apparently not on your list. If you say that you don't know if you have any more party games, you have picked Just One over Codenames.
I really enjoy Codenames, and maybe all-time Codenames. I
know you really like it.
Could be better, but it's around this area as well.
I enjoyed my play of it. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 48 is a classic. It's a game that has been played over and over and over as people try to rid the world from diseases that are terrorizing the planet, and that is Matt Leacock's Pandemic.
Yeah.
Pandemic's a classic. It's one of my favorite all-time co-op games. Really fun. I know you like it too.
I love it. I actually really, really enjoy Pandemic. Great game. Especially for, checking out a first co-op. This is really the go-to. Or any of Matt Leacock's, Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, any of those.
It's good stuff. I'm wondering if it's higher on his list. I don't know. Maybe,
we'll see.
Maybe not.
I don't know. When I say I don't know, literally I don't know. I would have to look at my list. All right, so for me, my number 47, and this is a new game to me. I've only played this once, but I can see this one going higher. That is Yokohama. I really enjoy how this game plays out, how you have to be strategic in placing your assistants out on the board so that your president can move around, take actions, and how many assistants you put in different spots, and how much you build up that action it determines how good that bonus is that you're going to get when you take the action. I just think it's clever. It's really neat. It's similar to Istanbul. I could see myself potentially liking that better than Istanbul down the road, but we'll see.
I like it better than Istanbul, and I like it a little better than Dean, I guess, because it's a little higher on my list. So all I'll say is it's a fantastical game.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 47, that's what we're on right now, is that
47,
correct?
Yep.
Is a game that maybe I'll get some pushback on because it is so new, but hey, we're doing our top 50 right now. What games do we want to play? And so I thought, you know what? I really like this game. I love engine building. It does a great job. I like spatial relations. It adds that part with an engine building, and that is Pipeline. Pipeline by Ryan Courtney, man. He did a great job on this game. The more I play it, the more I like it. I like it better even than whenever we did the podcast review of it several weeks ago, or however long ago it was now. So the more plays I play it, the more I recognize this is a really, really good game. So, man, 47. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, Pipeline is a lot of fun. Not in my top 50, but definitely I feel pretty confident this one would be in my top 100 if we went that far down. But love this game. It's really fantastic. All right, number 46 is another one that we've talked about on the podcast. We actually did a comparison, a showdown video, our showdown podcast a couple weeks back, and that is Raiders of the North Sea.
Oh, yeah.
And this is, it's another worker placement game, but the twist is that you place a worker and then remove a worker, and you take an action based on both of those. So there's some thinkiness in where you're going to place those workers, but also the thinkiness comes in prepping for the different raids that you're going to go on. And I think it's pretty fantastic. Now, I will give the caveat that just the base game alone would not make my top 50. Add in those expansions, and I just think it's fantastic.
I agree 100% with what you said, actually. So
you should. I'm a pretty smart guy.
Well said, sir. Well said. That is a fun game. Exactly what you said, though. When you add the expansions, it's fantastic. Without it, it's still a good game, but it's not top 50 material for me either.
Sure.
All right, so my number 46 is my first and not my last Stefan Feld game. This is Notre Dame. I like it. It's a fun game that you can play pretty quick within, I don't know, an hour, you think, or so, Dean?
Yeah, I think
You're
so.
placing your influence in these boroughs.
45 to 75 minutes is what I would guess.
Oh, there we go. I got it right down here. You're placing your influence in these different boroughs, which makes your actions more and more powerful. So you're kind of building a little bit of an engine as you're going throughout the course of the game. It's just fun. It's fun. It's quick. I like the decisions that you're making. I like the cards that you're passing, and you're having to draft cards, sort of. It's really small card drafting, but you're picking a card and passing it, and even though there's only 3 of them. But anyway, fun. Like it. Feld did a good job on that one.
Yep. Really fun game. I enjoyed it as well. All right, so my number 45 is a 2-player game, and this is Memoir 44. It's, I think, my only, technical war game on my list. But Memoir 44 is 2-player tactical battle where you're rolling dice and just trying to accomplish the missions that are set out before you. And there's several different missions that come in the main box. there's expansions upon expansions, and then there's the Overlord, which adds gameplay up to 8 players, which I've actually not played this. I could see if I played Overlord, I would probably bump this up even higher just based on all the good things that I hear about it. But Memoir 44 is a really simple, fun game. If you have somebody that is interested in war games but not really a gamer, then this would be a great place to start, I think.
Never played it, so I cannot compliment.
You can compliment me. I would love it.
Cannot comment on it. Okay, well, let's just move along to number 45 for myself. This is a game, I think Dean mentioned earlier a couple back that he had not played it too much. This is one I haven't played too much, but when I did play, it was really great, fantastic. It's a Michael Kiesling game that, in my opinion, is better than the Michael Kiesling game that Dean mentioned earlier, and that is Heaven and Ale. In Heaven and Ale, you're going around a rondel, you're getting these hex cubes, you're putting them onto your space, and you're getting money and different things for them. A lot of really interesting decisions. It's brutal. Like, it is. You can't make mistakes or you will score pathetic on this game.
You might score 0 points.
Yeah, you might. And but that's what I like about it. Games that keep me coming back for more because I want to figure out the strategy. I love that in games. So this is why this is really high on my list to keep playing, because I want to get really good at it, and I'm not. Yeah.
I quite enjoy Heaven and Ale as well. It won't make my top 50, but I love that theme. It's that medieval, mead or medieval
cool.
Pub theme. I just think it's cool.
Yep,
I enjoy
like
it as well.
it.
All right, number 44 for me. This is back-to-back Days of Wonder games. This is one that is also technically a war game, I guess. That's Small World.
I thought whenever you said that not a world game, a new small. I can't even talk this time. Never mind.
So Small World is a war game, but it's not in the traditional sense of a war game. It is a fantasy-style war game where you are going to be taking on the role of a group of fantasy creatures. You might be wizards, you might be elves. There's,
orcs.
I think with all the expansions, I think there's like 50-something races or something.
Is there really?
Like that. Yeah, it's a lot.
Didn't even know that.
It's a lot. And so you take on that role, and then you kind of spread your people out and get victory points that way. But then there comes a point where you want to go into decline, and the decisions that come into when you want to go into decline.
That's pretty much
a
lot of the game.
It is, but it's really fun. I enjoy this one a lot. My wife and I have gotten really good games out of this one as well, and it's so that the map is bigger and smaller based on how many people you have, which I think is cool too.
I thought you were about to brag about how good you are at the game.
Oh, no.
You were saying we got really good at this game. We're amazing at Small World. I like Small World quite a bit.
I'm actually pretty bad at this game, but I like it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that great at it either. It is I played that with my 11-year-old and my wife not too long ago, and we had a good time. So, not on my list, but I think it's a fun game as well. Okay, number 44 for me is a game by someone who will have a lot of other games on this list. Maybe not a lot, but several other games on this list. And that's Uwe Rosenberg. And this is my favorite puzzly game that he has done, and that is Cottage Garden. Who knew having a cottage garden would be so much fun? But I love this game. Like, what introduced me into these types of games for Rosenberg was Patchwork. And I really like Patchwork. It's a great 2-player game. But I think that Cottage Garden just kicks it up a little bit of a notch. It gives you a little bit more thoughtfulness in it. Dean hasn't played this one, which I'm going to rope him into sometime playing this.
I have played the app, and I think the app is fine.
Yeah. It's just, it's a good game.
Okay. I say fine. There's a lot of these polyomino games, and this is just one in there for me. I would rather, based on my app play, I haven't played the physical copy.
What I was going to say is I feel like the polyomino games are more fun in real life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, everything is, but more than the act. But for some reason, I really like that as you're.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be fun. I really enjoy Barren Park. I love Patchwork. I think it's a lot of fun. So,
I like it too.
So I could definitely see myself enjoying this. All right, my number 43 is definitely not going to be on John's list, and that is Kingdomino. Kingdomino, 2 to 4 player tile placement game where you are basically just drafting a tile and putting it onto your board, and you're getting points based on the crowns times however many squares of that type of terrain are in that region. And that's it. I mean, it's a really simple game, really easy to teach. The scoring can be a little bit weird if you've not played many games before, but it's still, even that's easy. You just could score a lot of points, and it might be a little tricky, but man, this is a great gateway game. But even beyond that, I just like this game a lot.
I think your voice changed over the course of talking about Are you getting choked up about Kingdomino?
I really like this game.
Yeah, if you've listened to our podcast, you know, I don't dislike the game. I just think it's kind of meh. So, all right, let's move along.
Those fighting words, Jon.
I know. Hey, you should say that about this. Remember, Dean, this is supposed to be fun. You're allowed to say, Jon, that is the worst pick in the history of picks.
A personal attack.
But you can't say this about this game because I know you like the next one.
All right, let's hear it.
So number 43 for me is one of my favorite gateway games. That's a game by Bernd Brunhofer, and that is
Stone Age.
Stone Age.
Look at the screen on that one.
Yeah, Stone Age is a great worker placement game, especially for teaching new people worker placement games. It's super simple to place your worker, and then you just take these excuse me, I don't even know what I'm talking about. You take your meeples or whatever, you put them out, and you're chucking dice to get resources, and then you're buying buildings and stuff. It's just fun. It's worker placement fun. I like it. I can teach it pretty simply. I like it.
It can be really frustrating to some players that get bad rolls, and I totally understand that, but I just think it's a lot of fun.
I remember playing one game where I had awful rolls, and I got really frustrated, I'll admit. But, you know, it's still a really fun game for me.
Yep. All right, so my number 42 is another worker placement game. We've got a decent amount of these on here,
How about
I guess. That is Viticulture by Stonemaier Games.
This should be higher on your list.
It should be. I might have some other Stonemaier games higher up on my list. Viticulture is just a lot of fun. You are trying to build up, you're trying to build up a vineyard. That's it. And so you're getting these orders. You're selling wine. You could be selling grapes. If you add in the expansions, you might be selling cheese or olives or something like. I don't remember. I haven't played with all the expansion stuff on that. But it's just simple game. The theme's really cool. I like the art and components. A fun game. I like it a lot.
I love Viticulture. That was an emphatic short statement.
Okay, all right. I expected more enthusiasm out of you for that one.
Well, it's higher on my list. I don't want to keep saying that because several other of your games are as well, and I don't want everyone to know what later on in my list is. So, yeah. All right, so my number 42.
42.
Okay. Is a game by Richard Breeze, and it's part of the Key series. I'm a big fan of the Key series, and it's one that I don't hear a whole lot about, but I love it. That's Key Harvest. I think Key Harvest is a really fun game. You're getting these hexes, you're putting them out onto your board, and different hexes are setting off other ones. You have these resources, and you're trying to purchase the hexes. One of the interesting twists of this game is you've of course got the screens, as Richard likes to do, and you don't know what your other players have unless you can remember what they picked up in earlier rounds. And so you're like, okay, I'm going to try to get this tile here, but does Dean have a green one? Or does he have a red one? And so you're trying to remember what they have and go, okay, well, if he doesn't have a red one, then I could maybe get this tile for only one good, which would be awesome. I think it's fun. It's a good game.
I want to check this out. I've actually only played Keyflower of the Key series, but I love it. It's a really great game. So I want to check this one out and all of those games.
Alrighty.
All right, so my last one for today is another war game. As I said, I only have one war game, but I have more than that. But this, again, is not traditional war game in that sense, and that is Kemet. Kemet is part of this, I guess it's not really necessarily part of that Inish and Cyclades trilogy, but they all get lumped together in those big box Matago games. And in Kemet, you are taking on the role of this group that is trying to get a bunch of points to win the game. And you do that by drafting monsters. You're going to draft these tiles and taking actions. In a sense, it's kind of worker placement where you're taking a set amount of actions every time, and it's just a lot of fun. It's great if you like this high confrontational type of game, because that's what it is. You are battling a lot in this game, so I enjoy it. That's Kemet.
That is one I really want to play that I haven't played. So
yeah, check it out.
I respect that place, even though I've never played it.
Thanks.
All right, number 41.
41, last one of the day.
Is a game that I feel like it's almost a letdown because it's such a classic game that you're going to be like, oh, okay. But it's so good, I have to put it on my list. And that is my favorite Antoine Bauza game by far, Seven Wonders.
Yeah.
Seven Wonders is probably my favorite purely card drafting game. There's definitely games that are higher on this list that have card drafting as a mechanic in the game, but if we're just talking purely draft a card, pass, man, it's such a great game, and what's so cool is like it's so fast too.
Yeah.
And we talked about this yesterday a little bit, that whenever you're playing online, if you want to play online or on an app or Board Game Arena, you can finish a game in like 8 minutes. It's quick.
Yeah.
And you feel fulfilled.
At most, I play app games in about 5 minutes sometimes if you're just playing against the AI. It's a fun game. I love Seven Wonders. I think it's fantastic.
It's good.
All right, that is going to do it for our first 10 of our top 50 games that we love at the moment.
That's right.
It's the best way of saying that, right?
That's right.
All right, so stay tuned. Next week, we're going to be posting our 40 through 31 games, so stay tuned to see those 10. And make sure, if you want to reach out to us, John, tell them how they can do that.
Sure, you can subscribe to this channel if you're finding our videos useful. Also, we're on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, all those at MeepleTown Games, and we are Board Game Geek Guild 34/7. I want to encourage you again that to go ahead and post your 50 through 41 on our Board Game Geek, or even in the description here. I'd love to see what you all think.
Yeah, that's great. Until next time, thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.